Welcome to Surrogacy Talk with me, your fabulous host and family building expert, Frank Golden. I'll be talking about surrogacy, IVF, and making babies. Welcome back, everyone. For today's session, we have a really special guest here in the office today. We have the one and only Bridget Bolthouse. And say something, Bridget.
Hello.
Bridget is... she's a two-time surrogate with us. She went through a complete journey and gave birth to a singleton, and now she's about to start her second journey. So today we are going to talk with her, and she can explain who she is and talk about her first journey and her experience with Golden Surrogacy. So without further ado, Bridget, if you just kind of want to talk about yourself.
Oh, this is fun. Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me today. This is a nice little vacation from my zoo at home. I am a mother of 5. I have been married almost 13 years this year to my amazing husband, Adam. So we have 5, like I said, 9, 7, 6, 6, and 5. And I, like you were saying, I am a second-time surrogate with Golden. First surrogacy journey was amazing. Everything went perfectly, wonderfully well. She is now, 13 months old? She is.
She's 13 months.
January, she turned a year. It was, I don't even know, how to explain it. I really didn't have, a big, oh, this is what I'm expecting, because I had no idea what to expect going into this. I just knew that this was something that I was passionate about, so I wanted to, pursue this. And you guys just made it really easy.
Thank you.
Super easy. And I always, just felt comfortable. And, I felt like I wasn't just a number and that I was actually part of a family. So thanks again for that. And it went wonderful and great. And I can't wait to do it again.
Our pleasure.
Yeah.
So just to give our listeners some context, Bridget lives in a suburb about an hour and a half away from the office here. And when she was onboarded through our agency, she was actually referred through another surrogate here in the same suburb. And the entire journey came about because we had a set of intended parents that it was a really unique situation. They were looking for 2 surrogates. They wanted to have 2 children around the same age. They didn't want one surrogate carrying twins because of the obvious risks of a twin gestation. So they contacted us to help find them 2 surrogates. And we were really fortunate to find Courtney. And I was talking with Courtney about this potential match in the couple and how they were looking for a second surrogate. And she said, well, wait a minute, I have this really great person that has always, talked about being a surrogate. Her name's Bridget. So she contacted Bridget, long story short, and had her fill out the profile. I talked with Bridget over the phone, and as soon as I hung up, I was like, oh my gosh, perfect. Perfect. She would be the perfect person. And that whole match was just really magical because It was a gay couple in New York, and they had Bridget and Courtney in Illinois in the same suburb, both going through that journey together. Yeah. And it was a match made to be. I don't know any other way how to explain it.
It was wonderful because, we had to go, we got to have a partner in this. And this was our first time, both doing this and being able to have someone that, were already friends with and already had a relationship and be able to, just build that relationship stronger, well, I guess for me, it was nice because I did go through 2 failed transfers before. I did have a successful transfer, and her and I transferred at the same time. So we got to go out to California together. It was girls trip. And then we both transferred together, and her first transfer was successful, and she carried a son for them. And then 5 months to the day, I delivered their daughter. So I thought that was really awesome, that going through the not so fun parts of, surrogacy, because sometimes it's not all rainbows and butterflies and you have to go through some, bumps in the road, that I was able to lean on her for support. And she helped me through, and then I got to be there for her while she was like, oh my goodness, just the pregnancy stuff. So.
And I thought it was cool that the two of you could travel out there together.
Yes.
I think for the third, did she go out there for the third transfer?
She went out for the third with me.
The third with you.
Yeah. And she was pregnant then. So her and I just kind of hung out, and it was nice.
And for some more context here for the listeners, I wrote down all the dates so that everyone can kind of put all this together.
Okay.
So Bridget filled out our profile on July 2nd, 2014. And then I had, signed contracts November 15th with the guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then your first positive beta for the third transfer was May 27th, 2015.
Yes.
Then we had a second positive beta on June 3rd, 2015.
Mm-hmm.
And then your ultrasound to confirm that you were pregnant with the singleton.
Yes.
Little Miss Princess, as we now know.
Yes.
That was June 5th, 2015. And then you delivered January 23rd, 2016, which was, as you said, 5 months to the day because the brother was born August 23rd. Yeah. That is just.
And then Courtney did come. She actually moved to Arizona after delivering their son, and she flew back home to be there for me through the labor and delivery and all that. So it really meant a lot to me, and I really miss her. Like,
I know, that was great. I was like, oh my gosh, we need Courtney back.
I know.
And Bridget said, oh, come to the delivery. And my husband Adam said, well, are you going to go? And I said, well, I'm going to wait till the next day because I'm sure the guys are there and I don't want to take the moment away. And then I find out Bridget had the whole hospital staff all in the room, and everyone that you could think of was in there. And so
one more would have been nothing. You should have. I told you. I was like, come on in.
I probably would have fainted though. So
yeah, no, you would have been fine.
So, okay. So that's the timeline. And so backing up a little bit here, you kind of talked about this in the beginning, but why did you want to become a surrogate? Like, where did all this stem from?
Okay. Well, for myself, my husband and I struggled with infertility ourselves. It took us about 5 years, 3.5 years through treatment to find out that the treatment that we were doing was never going to work, and that IVF was our only option. And so my husband and I took a little break from all of it because it was like 3.5 years. We're like, okay, maybe we just, this isn't meant to be. God has bigger plans for us. So we decided to foster. We got our foster care license, and then we're placed with our adopted son. He was 5 months old. So that was July 24th, 2008. And then my husband got called up to go overseas again. He was in the military then, and he said, you know what, we should just do another, let's get a second opinion. Let's find a new doctor and, see what they say. And I was like, okay, well, I was totally on board because I'm like, I would love that. And, we didn't ever want to think of the what if you don't come home thing. But we were like, let's just go. So we went, and the doctor said, IVF is your only option. Let's go for it. I'm like, okay. So, I did my transfer when he was gone. My mom went with me to transfer, and we found out we were pregnant with our son Braden the day he got into Afghanistan. So it was December 4th of 2008. And so it was just crazy because I'm like, I remember those dates. I remember where I was, probably not what I was wearing, but those things.
You remember that.
I probably, I don't think I do. I don't remember.
I'm sure you have a picture somewhere.
I probably do because I photograph everything. So that kind of is what really led us to, for ourselves wanting to do surrogacy. And, so we had our son in 2009. And then I was 8 weeks pregnant with our twins because we did another IVF transfer. 8 weeks pregnant with the twins when our son Braden turned 1. So
wow,
yeah. So I was like, ready or not, here they all are. And
holy moly!
Yeah, it was crazy fun. So that, like I said, that's the reason why I, wanted to do surrogacy because I wanted to, I knew how it felt to be on the other end of that. And I mean, surrogacy might have been an option for us, maybe. Adoption was fine for us too. So we ended up adopting our oldest son in 2012. And then we had our twins 2011 in January. And then in December of that same year, our adopted son's biological mother had another baby. So they called and said, do you want her? Would you like to take? I'm like, absolutely. Where do I go pick her up? So our girls are 11 months apart. So, and then we adopted Anaya in 2014. So, yeah, it's just all part of the bigger plan. We think that we have everything. Oh, this is how our life's going to be. No, I never had any. I always wanted a large family. Did I ever have any idea that I would be blessed this many times and then be able to, be in part of the surrogacy world and be able to give back the gift that there's no greater thing.
It's absolutely amazing. Everyone that I talk to about you and I explain your story, they, especially for your first match, the guys, I talked to them about your profile and I was explaining that you had how many children you had and you were foster parents, and they said, wow, are you sure she can be a surrogate? She must be so stressed out. And then for the second match, he said the same thing. He said, wait a minute, how many children does she have? And she's been a surrogate already? And how does she manage all of that? And I always tell everyone, I say, well, Bridget is like, the only way to describe her is I say Mother Earth. Mother Earth. She just gives and gives and gives. And you have all these children and you're just so calm still. Like every time I talk to you, even if it sounds like what you say, a zoo in the background, you're still really calm. And I know that I would be pulling my hair out, and I have 2 and I can't imagine having, 5. I would be freaked out.
Yeah, it has its moments, but it's just it's such a blessing too. I mean, it's crazy. And there's, days where I'm like, did I sign up for all this? Yeah, I sure did. So, you just got to embrace it and just, be thankful. And, that's just kind of how I get through the day. My mom was big on what can you do to make someone else smile? What kinds of things can you do to make, someone else's life happy? So I kind of just adapted that from her. And I just want to leave a really good legacy for my children one day. So this is all part of it. So.
I would say you are. And we've talked about this in the past, but your children will be part of the generation that is even more tolerant and accepting and loving and kind, because you have 5 children and all of them are going to know that their mother did fostering, was a surrogate, helped build other families. I just think what you're doing is amazing. And it goes way beyond what you're doing here in the present, because your children are going to disseminate that information and knowledge as they grow up and go out into the world. And I think they're going to become beautiful people as a result.
That's the plan. That's the
plan. So let's talk about your experience with the first couple that you worked with, that relationship, because surrogates or potential surrogates listening, I'm sure they have questions about, well, what does that relationship look like? How do you manage that and expectations? And
well, for me, it was, I wanted to have a relationship, bottom line. I didn't want it to be, some business transaction. I wanted to, build a friendship and, be a part of, a family outside, not like, be like how it is when you have your own family. And I'm pleasantly surprised that it went so great. Like you don't know. And I didn't want to set myself up to think, oh, it's going to be this, wonderful, perfect thing. And then after the baby born, then they say, we don't really want to have contact. They send photos, we, message back and forth, and it feels good to be able to still see her growing up, and, just seeing them as a family unit was amazing. We got to go. They flew us out. Yeah,
talk about your trip.
So they flew us out, myself, my husband, Courtney and her husband as well, out there in October for a weekend. And it was amazing. They were awesome hosts, and they, just to see them in that element, because it's like, you don't know. You think, okay, you don't know how people are going to be as parents. And these 2 are just phenomenal. It's just awesome to see all of it come together and just be like, I was a part of that. And if it wasn't for me, this, family wouldn't be. And that's just, you can't explain. There's no explanation. The feeling is, phenomenal. And yeah, it was great. And we still have a good relationship. And I'm thankful for that, because it just, makes my heart happy.
Yeah. I mean, you got to see everything come full circle, like you said. So,
yes.
And the guys surprised me too. I mean, they were always wonderful, but part of you always wonders, well, how are your clients going to be when they actually become parents? When the babies come, how are they going to be?
Right.
And then seeing you and Courtney go out there and with the photos, and then when I've talked to the guys since then, and they just, becoming parents, I know for me, it changed me, and I can see the change in them. And knowing that you did that, I mean, you must just be elated.
It's awesome. And that, like I said, that's just a feeling you can't explain. And it's wonderful. And Courtney and I are so similar, like she's a little quieter than I am. I'm not very quiet.
We know that.
Oops. But she, she's a little bit more quiet, but she is just a beautiful soul. And, just thankful that, we have become such good friends and we're able to, embark on our first surrogacy journey together and be able to help them complete their family.
So now fast forward into the future.
Okay.
And here we are, right? And journey number 2. Yeah. Holy cow. Okay, so your first journey was amazing. And then Bridget recovers. And then, and let me just tell everyone who's listening, there was never a point in time where after Bridget gave birth, there was any silence. Oh no. Bridget and I text we text at least twice a week. Yeah. Like there's not a week that goes by where I don't hear from you via text, whether it be me sending you a photo of the kids or you sending me a photo or this or that, or a photo from the guys because they send you photos all the time.
Yeah.
So then the time finally came. I think it was the 1 year, right, coming up on.
Right, coming up on the 1 year. I'm like, okay.
Your medical clearance, and Bridget goes, okay, well, I'm ready to do this again because we had talked about this, potentially doing this a second time if everything went well the first one.
Right.
And so here we are. So why did you want to do it again?
Well, like I said, my first experience was awesome, and I can't say anything bad about this one so far. It's been great. The new intended father is just a riot. He is so funny and just crazy, and we just really click really well. So I'm excited, for him. I'm not so excited about the estrogen, but you know what? I'm pushing through it, and it's gonna be good. And I just, think about the outcome every time. I'm like, okay, injection day, great. Ooh. But it's, that's not the so fun part, the not so fun. Yeah, that sounds better. Not so fun part of surrogacy, but it's worth it. And, if I had to do injections every single day for the rest of my life to be able to let these people be parents, I'd do it, because you can't put into words how amazing it is to be able to do this and see how complete they are. So let me just say, that is such a selfless statement in regards to the injections, because I know myself. It's a good thing that I'm a male and I there's no way I could be a surrogate, right? I don't know, I can't. I see a needle and I faint. I pass out. So for you and everyone listening who's either a surrogate or a potential surrogate applicant, I give you mad props for being able to compartmentalize that and become a surrogate to help people create a family. I just think everything that you go through emotionally and physically, and then the injections, it's mind numbing. I could never do it, and I know a lot of other women who say they could never do it. And so that's amazing. I know it's not your most favorite part, it's not the most favorite, but it's not. And that's the thing. It's like, we get through this and then, we're good.
And just as a disclaimer, so everyone listening who knows, it sounds like Bridget has had a lot of pregnancies and deliveries. But in reality, actually, she's had a total of 3 pregnancies. Yes. It was one singleton was her son, and then her second pregnancy was her twin girls. Yes. And then her third pregnancy was the singleton Sarah baby. So this will only be her 4th pregnancy. Yes. And all have been spontaneous, uncomplicated pregnancies. Yes. The C-section was the twins.
But the other were... The other 2 are natural.
So Bridget has a really great track record of pregnancy and delivery history here. Otherwise, she would not be cleared to be a surrogate
Exactly.
Again. So I just wanted to remind everyone.
2 of my children are adopted. So, I mean, I think I kind of said that earlier. But 2 of them are my oldest and youngest.
I don't want people listening to get confused and go,
you can go and have all those babies and be like, no.
And not here at Golden Surrogacy. I mean, I know there's some agencies that have surrogates that are on their 7th delivery and somehow they're getting approved. But we don't like to take risks, and Bridget knows that she would not have signed up to do this again if she didn't fully think that in agreement with the medical professionals that her body could go through this with an uncomplicated pregnancy with a great outcome. And so that's really what we strive for. And
4 is a great number, so that this will be it for me too. So I mean, if I was a little younger maybe and didn't already have, 3 pregnancies, yeah, maybe.
And you have 5 at home.
But
And
yeah,
quite honestly, I'm really protective of you, too.
Yeah.
We have to watch out for you.
I'm like, yeah, 4 is a good even number. I like even numbers.
So back to the second journey.
Okay.
This was amazing. So Bridget says to me, now for my next journey, I also want someone who's really, or you didn't know it was going to be, this is a single male intended parent.
Yeah.
And we didn't really discuss you matching with a single person before. So she says, well, I want another couple that can be really close with and good dialogue and everything like last time. And so then I present this profile to her. And I'm sure you were skeptical at first.
I was.
And of course, he wasn't. He saw your profile and was like, oh, my goodness, she's amazing. Are you sure she can do it again, though? Like, she seems like she could be really stressed out. And I said, no, Bridget is. Are you kidding me? Stressed out?
Yeah.
No. So I'm sure you were skeptical at first. But then I feel like the two of you got on a matching call. And I don't know. I was sitting there on the call, and I'm like, I don't know which one of them talks more. And I know it was a long matching call.
I think that's why. I'm like, it's just like we talk a lot, and it's nice because that's what I like that. I like to be and maybe he shares a lot, and I didn't really know all that went into this whole process and with the first couple because they were a little more reserved, which is fine because I respect that. But now with the new intended father, he just shares everything, and I love it because it's like I'm comfortable with him. I feel like I can say what's on my mind, and he respects that, and we're really on a in a really good place. So yeah, but I don't know. I think he talks more than me, and that's really hard to do. But I think he does.
But you said, right? So
that's what I wanted. See, you get what you wish for. Now that's what you get. You can't run away.
Right.
Now.
And I looked at the profiles and I said to myself, well, this guy is he's a spitfire. He can really talk your ear off, but he's really great natured and he's really passionate about becoming a parent.
Yes.
I can't say he's more passionate than this set of intended parents because everyone expresses themselves differently, but I'd have to say he expresses his passion more than anyone I've talked to over the last couple of years. And he calls us at least once a day.
Yeah.
And he calls, and it's amazing. He's just really on top of every
detail
step and every detail in this process. And it's a good thing we matched him with an experienced surrogate like you because you know how to deal with all of that and answer all his questions. Right. And I think that's really great because he wants to know. Yeah, he
does. He wants to know every single thing. And that's fine because I overshare maybe, but that's just me. And I just feel like, everything that I do and like I, document my journeys. I, try to, show others, like kind of like the inside of surrogacy and how what I go through because I'm like if I can inspire someone else to want to do this, like how awesome is that? And I have a friend that actually did sign with you and she will be transferring in March as well.
Oh, that's right. You referred Jessica to us.
And so I'm like I just feel like that's what you're supposed to do. Like if you can't share your story and help your story can help someone and help someone else. Now look, she's going to be caring for a couple and their dreams are going to come true as well. So I think it's awesome.
No, it's amazing. And I think the second journey. So why don't you tell everyone where you are on your second journey right now?
Okay. I just did injection number 4 this morning of estrogen. I will be doing these every 3 days. I have a ultrasound for a lining check and blood work on the 27th of February, obviously. And if that goes well, transfer is set for March 6th. So it's come really fast. I'm like, oh.
Wow. And Jessica's is, hers is at the end of March or somewhere in March, isn't there?
17th or 18th. I went 18th.
That's great. So remember. You and her potentially
go
through.
Well, and that's the thing. I told her, I was like, we can, wear our fat pants and eat. I'm like, I'm fine with that.
That is really exciting. And you're both in the same
Yeah, and she's
area
not
as well,
far. She's
too.
not far from me. So yeah, it'll be nice because this is her first time. So it'll be nice for me to kind of.
And she's kind of like how you were the first time. She's matched with a gay couple on the East Coast.
Yes.
So you can kind of talk her through that
So,
dynamic.
and it's just like, it's nice just to have someone that's gone through it. So, you know, if she has questions, she can message me.
Has she
anytime.
asked you questions about the injection so far?
Oh, yeah. And I was like, you know what? It helps to do a video. I've been doing videos. And I said, you saw the one, right?
They told me about it this morning.
I did another one this morning. I feel like if I do a video with my injections, I don't feel so alone. And
that's a good.
So and I'm talk through it, and it's a lot more like my first injection took a minute, and then now I'm like, I got this. This is good. But it's just to show everybody, you know, there is so much that goes into, you know, the start of your journey to get to the, you know, the goal of having, you know, a healthy baby for your intended parent. So I just love to share, and, you know, I'm just passionate about it, and I'm like, you know, if I can help someone's, you know, change someone's mind, be like, oh, maybe that might be something that I might want to do. Or, you know, maybe someone struggling and they need a surrogate, you know, and then they can see kind of on the other side what, you know, the surrogate has to go through. So
I think it's amazing. I was telling Hannah that we have to get we have to do a photo collage or a video collage with all those videos.
Yeah.
Which would be really cool as long as they're PG and there's no blood or need.
No, I'm
they're good.
I'm funny.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm funny.
I see some of them on YouTube that some people do. But
yeah.
I mean, you're like a movie star.
Yeah,
so
I don't share on YouTube. I don't know. I thought about doing just like a, you know, like a vlog, you know, kind of thing. So I could just do videos all the time. But on my little secret Facebook group, I have just, you know, friends and family that are supportive, and, you know, I want good people around me during this. So, but yeah, it's nice to do videos, and, you know, I post photos and just, you know, kind of walk everybody through with me. So then I don't feel so alone. Not that I feel alone at all, but, you know, it's just nice to have the support from all around. So.
No, I think it's a really great idea that you're documenting those. And so I'm going to start listening to them because I'm sure they're going to be hilarious.
I'll email them to you.
So I'm not sure if I mentioned the date earlier. So you were just matched November 16th.
Yes.
And it's February. You got a transfer here lined up for March.
So 6th.
So everyone knows that's listening, from the time you match with an intended parent or intended parents, it's usually about 3 to 4 months before an actual embryo transfer, because there's so much that goes into it. There's legal contracts.
Right.
And then if your intended parents are having embryos created in that lull of when you're dealing with legal and they're doing the embryo creation on the side with the egg donor, that takes up some time as well. So
this just went lightning fast because.
Well, this did because, I mean.
He's on it.
I mean, I always pat myself on the back that we do a good job here at Golden Surrogacy to keep things moving. But this intended parent is a professional project manager. If I ever need some assistance here in the office, he's the first one we're going to hire. And he's going to listen to this podcast and know exactly what I'm talking about. But he already said that when his baby's born, he wants to do a video. So I'm sure you're going to be in the video too.
That's fine. I'm good with that.
It's going to be fantastic. He's like really excited about it. I'm like, okay, calm down a second. I have to make sure if my hair looks good, then maybe we'll do it.
Oh, jeez.
Luckily, people could just hear us in this one. They don't actually have to see us the whole time. But you look fabulous today.
Thank you. Thanks.
So, but you always look fabulous. You always have a awesome blouse or something. I'm a sweater guy. I can't, compete with that. But so while we have you here, though, I'd like you to also talk about, and you could talk about some other things later too.
Okay.
But talk about the role an agency plays for you anyway in a surrogacy journey. Do you think having an agency is important? And what do you say to women that try to circumvent going through an agency? They want to go independent. And me personally, I'm not saying it's wrong. Like I have my own reasons for or against it.
Right.
But as an experienced surrogate, like, what do you say about that?
For me, like, even like looking into, starting surrogacy anyway, there's no way I would feel confident on my own with this. There's no way. And it was just so easy. It's like you guys just made it so, like, just everything flow, and I didn't ever stress out about anything. And if I ever had, a problem, all I had to just say, hey, Frank, it was done. Every time I called on the phone right there, taken care of. And like that's what, like I have 5 children. I can't be trying to figure out and doing this independently. Forget it. I have enough to manage at home. So it was nice to have the agency be the manager of everything, because I never had to worry. And it was just smooth, and I never had any issues. And so there's just no way for me personally. I can't do all that. And then like, okay, here I have 5 children to raise, and here, why don't you, figure out your surrogacy journey on your own? No, I just
do a background check on your intended parents.
Yeah, I have all that time.
Find an escrow company,
there's just too many parts of it that there's no way that I would have felt confident, doing on my own. And I don't know. I just like to be a part of something, It's like like I said, I always say it's like family here, because I always have felt, not just like a number. Like I always felt like, you want me to be here, and you are, thankful for me. And I always feel that. I never feel like, oh, whatever. I always feel wanted. And I think that's kind of a nice thing to feel wanted in such a crazy, like surrogacy is crazy. Like I didn't realize how much there's a lot of crazies out there, let's just say. And I didn't realize that until we have the
crazy blacklist.
Oh my gosh. It's ridiculous. So it's just nice to be able to not have to stress out about anything, and everything's taken care of. And just, knowing that, you're taken care of legally as well, just to make sure that everything goes smoothly and that you're covered. Like that's that sense of security, I guess. And that's what, the agency does for me. And that's why I always say, Golden Surrogacy, let's ready to go. If you want to be a surrogate, let's just, I'm always saying, because it's not just because, it's just the truth,
I really appreciate that. And you text me all the time. You have my cell phone number.
Right. I'm like, yeah, hey. But yeah, I just feel like, this is totally...
And you have, tell everyone about the layers of support here. So you have me, and then you have Maya now, and then you have Debbie. Yes. So you have all these different layers that you can, and Debbie's a riot, right? We have to get Debbie on a podcast.
Oh my gosh, that would be awesome.
You have to censor every other word though. No, I'm just kidding.
That's all right. Her and I we're same in some ways too. I really love her. Like we do talk a lot, like even like not just surrogacy related things. Like I really like feel like she's a friend. Like she does care about me and, everything. So it's nice to have support, like people that you've never met before in person, but we've built such a great relationship. And she genuinely cares about what's going on and how I'm doing. And I love it. Hi, Debbie.
Just so everyone knows, Debbie is one of our support coordinators. So she would be, if Bridget had any questions about the injections or just random surrogacy things that only a surrogate would know, because Debbie's been a surrogate twice herself. So, and then she has Maya here at the agency, who's an overall surrogate coordinator who could answer Bridget's questions regards to anything that's administrative. If she had a question about a form that we sent to the escrow company, anything administrative. And then if it's anything overall or just, basically to talk, she can call me about or text me. She texts me all the time. So Bridget has these multiple layers, and all of our surrogates do. So I'm glad that you find them useful.
Absolutely. I love it. I'm a talker. That's
when you told Debbie that you were embarking on your second journey, she sends me a text right away, and she's like, I didn't get any paperwork for Bridget's case yet. When does it start? I'm really excited about her second case. And I said, okay, hold on. We're going to get it to you. We're starting. She's going through all the matching face first and everything. And so I know Debbie she's over the moon to work with you again.
Yes, I love her.
I think we really went through all the topics. I know we have to get your husband in here at some point to talk about husbands through surrogacy, the husbands that are on the other side of the coin, that are the husbands of the surrogates, and how they kind of go through a journey as a support person.
He does my progesterone injections for me. There's just something about that one that
I was going to ask if he does those.
He does do those. I don't know what it is. It's just that medication's just different. And like the estrogen, I'm good on my own. But, my little Facebook group, I'm like, don't worry, there's going to be a video, and Adam does my progesterone. They're like, we can't wait to see that video.
Oh, no
Adam's like, oh, great. Yeah, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be doing this. I mean, his support has been phenomenal. We're an amazing team together. He's amazing. And he doesn't realize how much of a vital role he plays in all of this. He thinks, it's your choice. And I'm here to support you. I'm like, no, yeah, you are here to support me. But then, when I'm not able to be mom for the day because I'm not feeling well, or I have, just had a baby, then, he steps up and, he takes on the role of, mom and dad, and he does it just so gracefully. And like, he's very courageous.
And I've met him, for everyone listening, and he's just such a calm guy. And I see him and you, and the two of you do not wear stress on your face at all. No. There's just no stress, and he's just really calm. Yeah. And whenever I'm doing a consultation with intended parents, they always ask, well, what is the husband of the surrogate thinking about all of this? Mm-hmm. And I tell them, I say, well, you're going to have the opportunity to speak with them. And I don't know, just throughout all the matches I've done, it appears that all of the husbands of surrogates are kind of all the same calm, supportive people. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you lucked out because you have a great one.
Yeah, I do.
And he's easy on the eyes too. So.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Anything else you'd like to add while we have you here in our fabulous studio?
I don't know. I could talk for days, but that's just me. I just overall am extremely blessed and grateful for you and, Golden Surrogacy, because it's just made it great. It's been an awesome, my first journey was awesome. The second one is, going strong, and good things are going to be happening. So I'm ready.
We feel very fortunate to have you, as part of our Golden family. And a lot of the girls were hired after your first journey who didn't know you. And I said, when you were reaching out about the second journey, I said, yes, you're all going to get to meet Bridget. And I said, Maya, you're going to be assigned to Bridget. And she said, and she looked up your profile and she said, oh, she seems really
nervous. She's nervous. Poor Maya.
Well, you're very, you have star power about you. So, it's very intimidating. But no, everyone thinks that you're just like really amazing. And so we're really fortunate and we're really happy to have you on the second journey with us. So I'm sure at some point we'll do a follow-up.
Okay, great.
After your next transfer and things progress in the pregnancy,
awesome.
We'll have you come back in.
I'll bring Adam with me.
Bring Adam. And you know what? If your intended parent is in town for ultrasound, which I know he's going to be flying in, we'll have him come into the studio too.
Oh, he likes to talk.
We won't have to mic him. I'm sure we'll be able to hear him just fine. He'll be really excited though, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But that's all I have. Thank you so much for coming in today and talking with all of our listeners. No I'm sure they'll have maybe questions for you in the future. So
let me know.
What I'd say for everyone is please send us your thoughts, your comments on this session. And then if you have any ideas for future topics or things that you'd like us to discuss, you can email us at info@goldensurrogacy.com. And then please follow us on all of our social media at Golden Surrogacy. Thank you, everyone. It's been a pleasure today. Take care. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.